Hello, Kendra. I'm going to have you start by introducing yourself and what organization you're a part of.
I am Kendra Neville. I just graduated from UNL in December, and over the past year, I've been working with Nebraska Appleseed here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Awesome. So, that being said, I'm just going to ask you a few questions about selectivism and how we can get more involved in our community as young people. So, I think the first question is going to be, what is your opinion on selectivism as a concept?
I think honestly, selectivism is like a fantastic starting point. People having opinions is so much better than like 90% of the United States. And usually, selectivists do somewhat have an education that comes along with that. So I think it's a good starting point, but obviously, it doesn't lead to any actual change.
Agreed. That being said, what do you think we can do, especially as young people? Because I think a lot of young people have the mindset that it's too hard to get involved or they don't know where to start. So that being said, what do you think that we can do to find outlets to get more involved?
I think I can really only speak for here in Nebraska, especially in city centers, but I think pretty much universally in any college town, there's going to be local organizations that align with your political views or even branches of national organizations that have a local center.
Mm-hmm.
And that is really where people should start. And if you go to, on your campus or even on the internet, you just talk to somebody, they're usually like just looking for any volunteers or anybody to phone bank on a random Wednesday, and that's even that little effort helps get a movement started.
Yeah. Okay, so next question is going to be more involved with kind of the current political climate. So there's a lot of people who are afraid of the election of President-elect Donald Trump, and whether you agree with that or not, it's not my business, but there's a lot of people who are very concerned with his policies and things he's enacting and stuff like that. So that being said, have you, especially after November 8th and in the inauguration in January, have you noticed an increase in incidents like around, especially immigration policies, as that's what we're focusing on, and just instances regarding hateful acts since the inauguration of Donald Trump?
As a white person, I can't attest to anything personally
Mm-hmm.
in regards to immigration, but I can notice a change in rhetoric based
Mm-hmm.
on, just in my immediate social network where people, these aren't technically hate crimes per se, but a lot of hate speech has increased where, people who are a lot more even tempered about immigration now are using, racial slurs and, a real culture of fear surrounding immigrant minorities, especially whether it be refugees or people from Latin America or otherwise. I have definitely noticed an increase in hate speech. I would say. I think in Nebraska we are fortunately a little bit insulated from hateful acts per se. Not that they don't occur, but I think they are on a lesser scale than a lot of communities.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So moving forward, how do you think that we can open up that conversation with a friend or a roommate or a coworker, or even, I feel like a lot of us have either very conservative or very liberal, just overall very vocal family members that are very stubborn in their beliefs. So do you think that, or have any ideas of how to kind of just start that open conversation?
I have two prongs here. First of all, I love Nebraska Appleseed's approach. They're a nonpartisan organization, so they don't ascribe to any belief set one way or another. They ascribe to the belief set of what is best for Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes within this organization, we take political stances or stances on issues that, might not be the most politically correct, but they work. Like, for example, if you go out to western Nebraska, you're going to find a lot of people who have extreme opinions on, say, immigration. However, pitching it to a conservative base is that these immigrants are vital for Nebraska's success in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And not only are they enriching our communities, but economically benefiting our state in a huge way. Whereas, you or I, knowing you, Wesley, we don't really care whether or not the economics are good. We care about the human element in it.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, a lot of people view it as, if they're going to benefit, then I'm going to lose out. However, it is a very mutually beneficial relationship, and it's sort of emphasizing that point. And that's Nebraska Appleseed's approach. approach on immigration and everything, just sort of looking for things that Nebraskans universally care about. Hardworking people, people who are contributing to our society, people who, really just want to help out their neighbors, stuff like that. These are like core Nebraskan values that universally, regardless of ideology, people will most likely ascribe to.
Mm-hmm.
And just utilizing those. And the second prong that I think a lot of young, especially liberals and conservatives kind of on the outer wings struggle with is patience and knowing that there is a learning curve to any issue. I get in a lot of debates with people where they're going to say something that really turns me off, and I instantly want to say, that's offensive, like, you shouldn't say that. But truthfully, it takes looking at where they're coming from and trying to dissect that into reframing your argument against what they're saying to hit those points. So, for example, the one I just gave about people in Western Nebraska. So they're taking our jobs. They're coming here legally and they're taking our jobs. Well, no, they're taking jobs that are jobs that we don't really want. No one is taking. People are leaving Western Nebraska in huge numbers. And we need people there just to sustain our economy. So it's a matter of, these people, they do have lives and stories, and really looking for the things that they care about and understanding that the majority of people are not being intentionally offensive, and just being patient with them and knowing that they probably are coming from a place of genuine concern, and all you have to do is try to alleviate that concern with the knowledge that you have.
That makes sense. I think that's a good note to end on, and I definitely do agree. So, again, thank you for talking to me and sharing your information with me. And I look forward to talking to you in the future.
Yeah, no problem. And, if anyone wants any handouts on how to get involved with Nebraska Appleseed, we have phone banks all the time on 4 different issue areas, including immigration, child welfare, economic justice, and healthcare. So if anyone is involved, interested in those issues at all, feel free to, plug Nebraska Appleseed's volunteer website, and that's an easy grassroots organization to do something.
Awesome.